Hey, my people wey dey Sudan, the students wey dey Sudan, our Nigerians wey dey Sudan, and they meet dem no be small, they get am. Minister of Foreign Affairs, they say they don send them $1.2 million. Make they take remove them, see all of them, they still dey cry. We never see video where people say they don't say, oh, Nigerians are trying. I know, say we Nigerians, if small thing happen, they will begin to praise our government. We never, all of them, different places. I will see them just now. All of them, they cry for different corner. Say they don't see bus, they don't see even bus wey carry them. Some people go strand there for middle of the desert. Me no know wetin Nigeria government change use $1.2 million and dollars. Now we come to the count money for Nigeria. Euro, naira not going to exist again. My people, make una see where Nigerians, where they are suffering, and they meet our Nigerian people. Make una see them.
Gidan da muke tun ranar asabar da gona da gidan da nake bani da gurin da zan zauna squatting nake inda nake squatting ma it's not safe. Jami'an da na zo zan zauna sun rufe contractor ɗinsu ban san ina zan je in kwana ba ruwa ba abinci da kudin ka ma baka da ruwan da zaka siya baka da abincin da zaka samu komai ya kare babu it's not safe we can't go out to get something komai wannan kasuwa suke yi ba mun saba da gunshot tashi muke da gunshot kwana da gunshot ya suke so mu yi da rayuwa.
To rent 40 luxurious buses to be used for the evacuation of Nigerians trapped in Sudan. The news came after Alan Onyema, the chairman of Africa's largest private airline, Air Peace, had agreed to evacuate stranded Nigerians from countries surrounding Sudan for free. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission had disclosed that some luxurious buses arrived Sudan on Tuesday night, with more buses expected to arrive on Wednesday, with the help of the National Emergency Management Agency and the Nigerian Embassy in Sudan. Well, the minister spoke on our nightly news program, and here's what he had to say.
For 5,500 is what the figure they were working with. And I think there were some people they were discussing with who could provide the transportation.
Sudanese nationals or?
I believe in Nigerian, actually. Some Nigerian, business people based in Sudan, yeah. Okay. And that they were negotiating with to transport this number of people that distance under those security challenges. And what they quoted for that journey, for that many people, for about 40 or so buses, was $1.2 million. So it's not about transporting them from Egypt out. Yeah. So now, as of course things got more dangerous, and after the French convoy was attacked and so forth, obviously people are going to now start charging you more because the risks are greater and so forth.
Well, I guess the bone of contention is the amount of money that, the federal government wants to spend. A lot of Twitter users, people on social media are saying it's a lot of money. But I mean, I don't think it's a lot of money because, we need to get our Nigerians back. I'll take a tweet from Comrade. This person says, so federal government has this kind of money and somehow Alan Onyema still has to airlift them for free. So let's get this right. They use $1.2 million for the cheaper and shorter part of the trip and spend nothing for the more expensive and longer part of the trip. What a country. Well, Daniel wrote, the APC government spent $1.2 million to hire only 40 buses and used to evacuate stranded Nigerians from Sudan to Egypt. That's insane. But it's not surprising because the same federal government claims to have spent about $100 million feeding 10 million school children. This is the party promising renewed hope. What a joke, Rufai.
I think the problem is the fact that a lot of Nigerians have trust deficit about their government. So if their government says anything, they don't believe it. Why? Because there's been hitherto accountability problems of the past, occasioned by massive corruption. I think the government needs to be able to change this image because indeed it has a very bad image amongst Nigerians. Nigerians don't trust their government. How they're going to do it is going to be based on justice, accountability, letting things out the way it ought to be done. Absolutely. It's as simple as that. People don't trust the government. Absolutely. And that's why you see Nigerians don't come out to vote.
And that is the reason. But I'm glad that he has come to clarify that it is because of the fact that, the war is there and people are hiking up their prices. So I guess, Nigerians should understand that we need our...
We have to go and We are done.
We don't have anything.
We don't have anything. We don't have food. We don't have anything. We don't have compass. Even now, our location. We're in an unknown environment with a very big danger.
Look at this place.
Just take a look at this place. Why is Nigeria
ايوه تسلم شكرا.
يكون احسن ذاك كيف
What is he saying?
This is what happened. Only 2 buses has arrived, as you can see.
About the fighting that is going on in Sudan. What's happening there is more than meets the eye. And it's time for the world to discuss the actual truth of what is going on there. America and Russia are at it again, just as they did 60 years ago during the Cold War, when they fought proxy wars right here in Africa, leading to the death of thousands of innocent Africans. They are at it again in Sudan, fighting a proxy war. Let me explain. 2 factions of the Sudanese military are fighting each other. One of them is led by Lieutenant General Mohammed Hamdan, head of the paramilitary group known as Rapid Support Forces. The other faction is led by the Sudanese Army Chief, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. So why are they fighting? This is where Russia and USA come into the picture. You see, in the last couple of months, Russia has finalized a deal with Sudan to establish Russia's naval base in Sudan's Red Sea coast. America is not too happy with that. Actually, they're furious. America's ambassador to Sudan, John Godfrey, expressly warned Sudan not to seal that deal with Russia, but they're going ahead and doing just that. And so when the paramilitary unit began fighting the other faction of the army, that wasn't happening in a vacuum. The big problem is that you're not going to hear this in the mainstream media. Neither are you going to hear a lot of African governments voicing this, which is very unfortunate, because Africa must learn to speak its truth and stand on this truth, because truth will set you free. So it is left to the African people, we the African people, to speak this truth and tell America and Russia to get off Africa, to get their hands off Africa. The days of the Cold War, the days of the shenanigans of the Cold War are completely over, and they cannot fight proxy wars in Africa at the expense of innocent African lives. That has to stop. The fighting in Sudan must stop. The puppet masters must stop their evil, diabolic games.